Hello and welcome to the New School Piano channel. My name is William. I hope you're doing well. I'm here in my brand new Montreal, Canada studio. Really happy about that. And I have a little bit more time right now, so I figured I'd do a piano tutorial of one of a song that I really love. My father's going to be pretty happy about that one as well because he's a real Pink Floyd fan. Us and Them by Pink Floyd. I do a really chilled out, beautiful piano version. So I hope you enjoy it. As usual, I'll play the song first. I'll teach you the sections afterwards. And if you want to go ahead and skip to the section you want to learn, I'll put the time stamps in the description box below. All right, so make sure to subscribe, like the video. It really encourages me to put out more of these as I get comments and feedback. So go ahead and do that if you want. All right, so I'll see you after the intro. Cheers. All right, guys, if you are still here, I'm guessing that you enjoyed that version. It's such a cool song. It's beautifully composed by Pink Floyd. So let me teach you section by section. First, I'll start with the actual riff that starts off the song. Then it's just a matter of like including that melody sort of into that riff, which can be challenging. And then I'll teach you the chorus, which is really cool. It's such a beautiful progression. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so the key, the song is in D major. All right, so, and then after in the chorus, we kind of go to relative minor, which is B minor. All right, so the riff, okay? So what's cool is that the left hand is not that complicated. It's pretty simple, okay? So what we do is that we always, in the intro and in the verses, we always keep the D as the bass, okay? So that doesn't change, okay? The whole verse and intro. All right, so what we do is that we rock between the bass and then another note with your thumb, okay? So what we do is that we go from D, so the first chord, we go from D to A, and we kind of, it's like a pulse, okay, for your whole verse and intro. Okay, so that's kind of the rhythm you want to to have. Now you can speed it up or slow it down as you want, but you want to keep that kind of balance, kind of that pulse. Okay, so first two notes, D and A. Okay, so we go back and forth with the pedal. Okay, and then we're just gonna move the thumb and go to the B. Okay, so and then we go the thumb goes to the B, and then we're gonna go to the C sharp. The thumb goes to the C sharp, and then we go back to the B, and that's it. All right, so for the intro and for the verses, that's what the left hand is doing. That's it. Now we're going to complete that with the right hand, which is going to play the chords over that pattern of the left hand. Okay, so the first two chords are sus chords, which means that there's no thirds. Okay, so we're not really sure if it's minor or major, which I think is pretty cool because it leaves you, it's ambiguous. You don't know if it's a minor or major color. Okay, the first chord, it's a D sus2. All right, so we play the D, the E, and then the A. All right, so that's the chord with the right hand. That's the first one. Second one is an E sus2. Okay, so E, F sharp, and then B, and then afterwards the magic chord where everyone goes, ooh, that chord. All right. And that is a augmented chord. Okay, so it's an F augmented chord. Okay, so just the sound is so nice. It's so beautiful. Okay, so the F, the A, and the C sharp. Okay, so we're actually flattening the F sharp to the F. So it's an F natural, A, and then C sharp. And then the fourth chord, we go to the G major. Okay, so it's an inversion. Second inversion. Okay, so first inversion would be this one. The second one is this one. Okay, so D, G, and B, which is a G major chord. All right, so we have our chords. Okay, so again, D sus2, E sus2, F augmented, and then we go back to the G chord inversion. Okay, so we're doing that while our left hand is going to do that pattern. Now, there's a pattern as well, and it's kind of if rhythm to you is a challenge, then that might be a good challenge for you to work on. Okay, because it's syncopated, not syncopated, but both hands are going opposite basically for that rhythm. So we start with the D, and then so basically it's one end. So the right hand is going to start on the end, not the one. Okay, so one and. Okay, so the pattern goes like this. I'm going to play it very slowly for you. All right, so let's continue just with that pattern. Okay, so I'm just going to play that for a while. Try to do it at the same time as me. Just try to get the feel of it. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so the right hand basically starts on the end of the 1 and then plays all the ends and the numbers basically, so the downbeat and the upbeat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, stop. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so that's sorry, I messed up there. So that's the pattern of the whole thing. Okay, so the intro, you simply play that pattern over with the chords that I showed you, the 4 chords. Okay, so it gives us something, it gives you something like that. Okay. Okay, so you do it twice, and then you go. Remember that the thumb will go to the B, and then we're switching to that E sus. Right? It's the same pattern, same rhythmic pattern. Okay. And then we're going to that augmented chord, right? Remember the thumb goes up to that C sharp. And then the right hand plays the F augmented. All right. So let's see all of that together, and then we'll finish it off with the G as well. Okay. So we're starting on the D. Okay. The E sus. Twice. Augmented chord. Ah, it's so nice. And then to the G, right? So the thumb goes back on the B, and then my right hand goes from that augmented chord to that G inversion. All right. So that's how I play it. I'm not even sure if the B is the melody note in that riff. Maybe they actually play it here. I'm going by memory, but I like to go back on the B as well as a melody note. Okay, so remember, no rules. You do whatever you want with the song, whatever sounds good to you, just do that. All right. But that's how I play it. All right. So that's the pattern in the intro. That's the pattern for the verse as well. But what we're gonna try to do is that with dynamic, and we're going to try to implement the melody, which the melody is very simple. Mr. Gilmore, I believe, that sings in that song. I think it's David Gilmour, whatever. We're trying to include that melody in that pattern, okay? So what we're going to do with dynamic is that we're going to punch a little bit harder the melody notes. Okay, and what we're going to try to do is that we're going to put the melody inside the riff while still kind of get that riff going, okay? So we want to include the melody in the riff. So what we're going to do is that so the first thing when he starts singing, it's 2 A's, right? Over that. So what we're going to do is that we're going to punch that A, so one time with the D and then one time with the E. So see how I went from really hard to really soft, back soft again. And even if you have the keyboard to do it, you want to emphasize the little finger, okay? So even you want to play that A harder than you'll play the D and the E. See how now we go back soft? So we really, even though the A is actually the note in the riff, since we're playing really hard and going back soft, it kind of jumps out of the riff, so we know it's the melody, the vocal melody, okay? So. And then we play again the A, and then da, 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 da. Right? So what we're going to do with that, how I do it, is that I play the E and the B together, then I'll switch my finger 2, I go on the F sharp, finger 5 goes on the C sharp, and then back. So, and then what we want to do is that we want to continue the riff right after, right? So it's tricky. It's tricky because you can't lose the rhythm, okay? So because if you do, then we're going to be able to tell, okay? So you want to include the vocal melody, but you want to keep that riff going. Super soft, right? The riff, you want to continue the riff, but really softly. And then, right, so C sharp twice, D back to C sharp, and then B, C sharp, B. Okay, so how we do that now with the whole riff, and what I do I roll up to the C sharp, and then I play B and D, which is really nice. So nice. Okay, so in context, right? So, and then you want to pick up where you left off with that riff. Okay, so. And then to the G, right? So, oh yeah, and with the G, you want to that C sharp is still in the melody. So what I do is that I'll play the G with 1, 2, and 4, and then I'll rock back and forth. So 3 is gonna go on A, my pinky on C sharp, and then back on B and G. Okay, so something like this. So it's just to put a little bit more meat around that melody. Okay, and with the left hand, and then a riff, continue the riff. Okay, so those two chords in context. Okay, so it's tricky. It's tricky just to not lose the rhythm and continue doing the riff after your melody. Okay, so work on it very slowly. Eventually you'll get it. Okay, so he does that twice. Okay, so the whole thing twice. Afterwards, he goes into the chorus. Okay, so the second time around, which in the intro I did once, but usually he does it twice, and then he ends on the D sus, right? And then he stays there. And then he goes right here. Okay, so here I play an inverted A6. Okay, so I love the 6 note, the extension 6, the sixth, 6th, right? That you add to a chord. I add them all the time. I think it's such a sweet, just a little spice that you add here and there on major chords, and it sounds so nice. Okay, so right here I play, so the third of the A, the major third of the A chord, right? So C sharp, E, A, right? So that's just an A major chord inverted. I play the third right here, so the C sharp, my thumb, play the 5th, right? So the E, and then I add the 6th right here, the F sharp. Okay, so what you want to do is that you're on the sus, so you're finishing your verse, tack, tack, and then you want to land on the first chord of the chorus, which is beautiful B minor 7. Okay, so B and F sharp in the left hand, right hand B, D, and F sharp, and then add the 7 right here, the A. Okay. And then in the real song, in the original recording, they really pick up in intensity, which you can do. But I like to keep it mellow the whole way through. I think it's just, I don't know, it's just, it gives it a nice, smooth feeling all the way through, okay? But, I mean, you can really pick it up and play it harder and with more dynamics if you want. Okay, so the rhythm now. So we're still rocking back and forth with our left hand. Okay, so that does not stop. Sorry, it's not the G, it's the F sharp. Okay, so dun, 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 dun. Okay, and then we're going back to that A6. So punch it, A6, and then that beautiful chord. Okay, so I play, so it's a G at 9 major 7, okay? And the way I play it, so I play the G octave Gs. I'll play the 9th, so the A, and the major 3rd with my thumb, okay? Like this. If you have a big, I mean, you could play it different ways, but that's how I play it. 5th with my 2nd finger, the D, and then my 4th finger on that F sharp. And then I go to the, again, 6, I add the 6 to the C major. Okay, so let's do that again. So we're on the sus2, A6, G9 major 7, C6, same thing. Oh man, so nice, so nice. All right, so such a beautiful progression, especially if you play like that and you add these extension. To me, it's so smooth, so smooth. All right, so again, B minor 7. We do that passage chord. Right, you can play like that, or I did play in the intro, I believe, like which is a beautiful voicing as well. So if you want to do it like that, maybe you can go, the first time around you play like this, right? So the A inverted plus the third, fifth, and sixth, and then you can go the second time around, right? When you do that passage A6, you can actually play like this, how I played in the intro. So I went right here. Okay, so that B, so that's 9, third, and 6. Beautiful voicing right here. If you have a big enough hand, then you can double that 9th. It'll be even nicer. So. Oh man. All right, so those are the chords, and then you do it twice of the chorus. You do it twice, and then the second time around, when you're on that C6, you go back to that D sus2 with that as in the intro and the verse, and then you continue to do that whole thing twice. I'm not too sure how the structure goes with the song. I think they do that twice, and then you have the outro. All right, so I really hope you like the tutorial, you like the song. This is like one of my, when you go to someone's place and they have a piano and you sit down on it and you want to play something really chill, just to test out the piano and just play something mellow. That's one of my go-to ones. I love that one. All right, so cheers, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Again, comment, and if you want to hear some songs, my version of certain songs, then feel free to post them in the comments. It'll be my pleasure to do my take on one of your favorite songs. All right, guys. See you next time. William from New School Piano. Cheers.